it's your boy Smoke back there in Madden video. In today's Madden video, we're going to do a simulation of Stephon Gilmore on the Indianapolis Colts. Now, this literally just happened, I would say, 2 hours ago, but Stephon Gilmore signed a deal with the Colts, and I'm kind of ashamed he didn't go to the Raiders because I heard the Raiders were looking at him, but the Raiders have still got an offseason. But anyway, that's enough about the Raiders. But let's talk about the Colts now. They were just a couple games shy of making the playoffs, and Jonathan Taylor proving that he is one of the best running backs in the league this year. So it'll be interesting to see when they add the 2019 Defensive Player of the Year and see if Stephon Gilmore still has it and how much he can offer for the Indianapolis Colts. So first game of the simulation here, they go out and beat the Seattle Seahawks 27-21. Fairly close game with the Seahawks not having Russell Wilson anymore. I don't really think it should have been that close, but it was. Drew Lock a touchdown, 0 picks, 205 yards. Matt Ryan 259 yards, 1 touchdown, but also 1 pick. Drew Lock with a better rating. Jonathan Taylor with 23 carries, 124 yards, and 2 rushing touchdowns. Chris Carson with 36 yards and 1 rushing touchdown. Nyheim Hines with 20 yards. Michael Pittman with 116 yards, but no touchdown to show for it. DK Metcalf only 59 yards and no touchdown. Freddie Swan with a touchdown and 59 yards. Paris Campbell with a touchdown. And Dwayne Eshridge, 33 yards. That was their third-round pick last year. All right, let's go to check the defensive side of the ball since this is a defensive sim. Stephon Gilmore nowhere to be found in the tackles, but there's Kenny Moore for the Colts. Was the leader for the Colts in tackles. Tackles for loss was Jordan Brooks. Then Forrest Buckner got one. Let's go ahead and check the sacks. No sacks in this game. My bad. Yannick Ngakoue was the only person who got sacks. He got 2 of them, but other than that, no sacks in the game. Sidney Jones got an interception, and that is it. All right, and week 2 here, the Rams beat the Colts 28-21. The Super Bowl champions, the Rams. Pretty close game versus the Colts here. Matthew Stafford with 3 passing touchdowns, 254 yards. Matt Ryan with 301 yards, 2 passing touchdowns, 1 interception. Cam Akers with 68 yards. Jonathan Taylor with only 59 yards. So it looks like the Rams really contained Jonathan Taylor here and also Matt Ryan. Allen Robinson, 90 yards and a touchdown to show for it. But yeah, pretty quiet offensively for the Colts, even though they did score over 20 points. Nothing really exciting. There we go. Stephon Gilmore was one of the leaders in tackles. Greg Gaines got the tackles for loss, and the sacks is Kwity Paye and Aaron Donald. Kwity Paye with 2. All right, and we're coming around the mid-season here, and the Colts record is 3-4. So not good at all. I think they should be in a better position than this right now, but they do have half the season to turn it around. But I do feel like they should at least have a winning record right now. But they're kind of blowing it. Matt Ryan, I mean, he's not doing bad, but he's not doing great by any means. 1,684 yards, 14 touchdowns, and 5 interceptions. Jonathan Taylor, 631 yards and 5 rushing touchdowns. Michael Pittman with 414 yards and 2 receiving touchdowns. Ashton Doolin, I think that's how you say his name, with 3 receiving touchdowns and 397 yards. Paris Campbell with 332 yards and 5 touchdowns. Morley Cox with 2 touchdowns. Kenny Moore leading the way for the tackles with 49, and then Stephon Gilmore second in tackles with 44. Tackles for loss to Forrest Buckner is leading with 8, then Grover Stewart with 4. QB sacks is Kwity Paye with 5, to Forrest Buckner with 2, and Yannick Ngakoue with 2. And interceptions, it is Willis, Gilmore, and Isaiah Rodgers, all with 1. All right, Week 14 matchup against the Texans here. Colts are able to get one. Matt Ryan didn't do that hot, though. 1 touchdown, 1 interception, 272 yards. Davis Mills, 2 touchdowns, but also 2 interceptions. Jonathan Taylor, 69 yards. Nyheim Hines had a rushing touchdown with 44 yards. And Paris Campbell here was 7 receptions, 76 yards, no touchdown. Jared Cook, 69 yards. Mo Ali Cox got 2 receiving touchdowns, and Brandon Cooks got a touchdown. Let's go and check the defensive side of the ball. And really nowhere to be found any Colts players for the defensive. No defensive players for the Colts were in tackles or tackles for loss. Let's go check the sacks though. DeForest Buckner was able to get 2.5 sacks, and Kwity Paye was able to get one as well, and Yannick Ngakoue got half a sack. Interceptions, Gilmore got one, and so did Desmond King, and then so did Isaiah Rodgers. This is the end of the season here. The Colts did disappoint by only going 7-10. I thought they would have did a lot better, especially since they were pretty close to making the playoffs this year. And then they go ahead and add a guy like Stephon Gilmore. But yeah, they disappointed, just like I said. Matt Ryan, 29 touchdowns, 18 interceptions. The interceptions is too high. That's way too high. Jonathan Taylor with 1,510 yards and 16 rushing touchdowns. Pretty solid year from Jonathan Taylor. Paris Campbell with 1,804 yards and eight receiving touchdowns. Michael Pittman with 878 yards, 6 receiving touchdowns. Mo Ali Cox with 173 touchdowns and 7 touchdowns. Kind of shocked that Michael Pittman Jr. did not lead the way for the receivers. Bobby Okura leads the way for tackles, then Kenny Moore, then Darius Leonard, then Stephon Gilmore. Tackles for loss was led by DeForest Buckner, then Yannick Ngakoue. And then QB sacks, the leader is DeForest Buckner with 10.5, then Kwity Paye with 9. And interceptions, Stephon Gilmore tied for leading the way with 3 with Willis and Isaiah Rodgers. And then Darius Leonard had 2. And so did Kenny Moore. Kenny Moore had 2 as well. Pretty spread out, fair, even on the defensive side of the ball. They just weren't able to win football games. Really don't know why. Matt Ryan's interceptions were a little high, so maybe that didn't help. Let's go check the MVP, though. Dak Prescott wins the MVP, so I know every Cowboys fan watching this is a little bit happy right now. Lamar Jackson with the AFC Offensive Player of the Year. NFC Offensive Player of the Year, obviously excluding Dak Prescott, would have been Alvin Kamara. It's stupid how Madden does that. Anyway, NFC Defensive Player of the Year, Aaron Donald. AFC Defensive Player of the Year, Von Miller, oddly enough. I do not think he's still in the stage of his career where he could get Defensive Player of the Year. That was about the end of the video. Make sure you guys go leave a like and subscribe. We cover 3 games on the channel, which is Madden, Red Dead, and GTA. If you like any of those videos, I highly recommend you subscribe with post notifications on and get ready for more Straight Smoke Gaming videos about the 2022 draft coming up. Bye!